is we need to add a workflow grid component, right? So I'll just show you where we use this component just to give you an idea, right? So now if you go to context of organization, we have external issue form, and when you click on add new, you will see that there is a risk form integrated into the external issue form, right? And when we click on add new, we'll add data to the given form, and this data will be displayed in a grid format in the external issue form, right? So I'll just enter the data, required data, and click on submit. I'll click on submit. Right? So you see that what we're doing is we are referencing another form. We're using another form in this external issue form, and we are displaying the data of that particular form in a grid format. Right. Now, whenever you have this kind of requirement, you'll always be using the workflow grid component. Right. Now, what we'll do is in this project management form, we'll try using a task management form, centralized task management form that we have here. Right. The centralized task. So what we'll do is to add a workflow grid, what you need to do, you just drag and drop this workflow grid below the data grid, right? And once you add this, you will see the settings screen for the workflow grid component. You can name it as task assigned, right? Now, which form are we using over here? We are using a task form. So we'll search for task, right? In workflow master, you will select the task workflow, right? And then what we'll do is we'll enable start workflow and enable add reference link. So what does it mean? So if you go to that particular form, so whenever there is a grid, you will always see there's an add new link and an add reference link, right? If we want these links, so while adding any workflow grid, we need to enable the start workflow checkbox and the add reference link as well, right? Now the index view, you can just select it as default, and we want these values as read only, right? And we click on save. So this is the
As far as that, got a question for you. As far as that reference link goes, what type of links are we talking about? Web links?
yes.
Any type? Is it just specific to within the QMS here, or are we talking web links in addition to the QMS?
So what it does is, suppose if you click on the add reference, it will take you to the all the tasks that you've added in the
Okay.
QMS system. So it will list all the tasks. So in case if you don't want to add a new task and you want to just reference any task with the existing task, so you can just select from the list of tasks and click on close. So you will see the task will get added.
Okay, but if, for instance, if I had a document that I wanted to reference outside of the QMS here, could I add a link to that, like a SharePoint link, and it would take them to that as well?
Satish, if you can take this question.
Yeah, sure. Hi team, I'm Satish here.
Hello.
Hello. So what you see here is an action button. So in case if you have a view link for the document, you can also use it here. For example, Tanu, can you click over the action link next to MRM action plan? Yeah, there. Yeah. So here we can show the view link, which means we can we can directly open and view the document from here itself, right? So what I'm trying to say is, Tanu, can you open the workflow grid for this form and select record views?
Okay. Okay. So I have to go back to
In
the
the in the form. I mean, you have opened the MRM form, right?
yes.
Yeah. Okay, just a second. Right.
This is directed at Mike. Mike, the reason I mentioned that is with some of our other policies, for instance,
Okay.
if we wanted to link that SharePoint like we were working on yesterday with workflows to this, I just thought that might be handy.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that could be helpful.
Right. So in a way, whenever you create a document, you will add the SharePoint link there, I suppose, because that will be added in your QMS section documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say is, once you add that document, you can view it from here. For example, Tanu, can you refresh the screen and add reference?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, can you refresh the screen once?
The task you mean, right?
Yeah, but I think you have to refresh the screen once. Um,
Okay. So do
yeah,
you want to share it at your end and
yeah,
show it? Yeah, that
sure.
would be better.
Yeah, sure. Yes, team. So what I was about to explain is this linkage. So you can simply assume that you are having the document section over here and you want to add reference of the document. Now what you will have is you will just click on that document and that will come up here and you will have the view button. So this view button will take you to the entire document metadata. So the revision number, document title, department, etc. And you will have the document SharePoint upload link to that. So if you click on the preview, it will take you to the SharePoint itself. So we have the SharePoint integration link in which whatever document that you upload will directly get allotted to your SharePoint folder. So that kind of integration is built in Effivity. So what I'm trying to say is in the documents module, you can either decide to store it within Effivity or you can choose to pull the data or store the document in the SharePoint itself. So that will give you the link here, unlink and link option. So which will create a mere link between the SharePoint and Effivity's file from the documents.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I'll suggest. Yes. Now coming back to the workflow grid component, right? So while adding the workflow grid component, you will change the label, right? You can enable the start workflow. You can, if you want to add the add reference link, you need to check this checkbox and you can select it, the index view as default and check the read only checkbox, right? And you click on save, right? So this is the first step. Now, whenever you are entering data into the form, right? When I click on add new, say I want to only in my project management form, I only want to see the task and the responsibility, these two fields, right? So what we do is we'll add only two fields over here, right? So first is the task field. Now, whenever you are using a workflow grid component and you are using another workflow into your parent form, so you need to ensure that the fields that you're adding, the key of those fields should be the same in your parent form, right? So what you'll do is you'll go, I've just opened another tab for the form builder, right? So you'll go to the form builder, you will search for that particular form, say the centralized task form, right? I'll just click on edit, right? So I'll see what is the task field over here, right? What is the property key of the task field, right? So this is the property key, right? I have to use the same key whenever I'm using the workflow grid or I'm using another workflow in my parent form. So what I'll do is I will first add a text area and I'll drop it over here onto the blue part of the data grid component. I'll name it as task, right? Now, under this, we have a form code, right? So since we are using the centralized task form, so we need to tell the system that which form are we using, right? We can tell that by using the form code. So every form is associated with a form code. So I'll be using this form code as CTTKR, which is a centralized task form code, right? Then under the key section, I need to ensure the property key of this field and what we are using in the task centralized task form. Those should be the same, right? Here it is task, and here also it is the task only, right? And I'll click on save. So this is the first field that we have added, that is task, right? Now the another component that we are going to add is the employee list, right? Which is this. So what we'll do is we'll just drag and drop the employee list from the data component and we'll place it next to the task component. Right? And we will name it as responsibility, right? As I mentioned that the property key of this component should be same of what we are using in the centralized task form. So we'll go to the centralized task form and see what is the property key for the responsibility component. So I'll go to the key and I'll just copy this property key over here, right? And also I need to enter what form code are we using, right? The form code of the centralized task screen, right? And also we can say that will allow multiple selection of it. Click on save, right? So what we have done is we are using another workflow into my parent form, right? And we are displaying the data of that form in a grid format, right? And then we'll click on save. Now we'll see the form. We'll go to the form. We had added under the context of organization. I'll go to project management form, click on add new, and you will see that the task assigned grid is added. So this is the workflow grid. When I click on add new, it will take me to the centralized task form. And here I can enter my task and the responsible, right? And click on submit. We will see that the task and responsibility, these are the two fields that we had added into our form, and they are getting displayed over.
Okay. Can I pause you for a second? I have a couple questions.
Yes.
So one was on the form. For example, if you accidentally dragged the employee component into, say, the wrong area on the grid, is there an undo? Easy to undo that action?
So you need to just click on cancel. You can just remove it,
Uh-huh.
right? Every
Okay.
component, you will see this. So if you just right. So say I want to remove the signature field, right? I just click on cancel and
Right.
click on save.
But now let's say it was like, oops, that was the wrong one. I removed the wrong one. There's no control Z to have it pop back. I have to go drag it
So
back physically, right?
in that case, what you can do is you can create a new form version. Every time you're making changes, you can create the versions of the form, right?
Okay.
So in case you want to go back to your original, the old version, so you can use whatever version of the form you want to use, you can use that.
Okay.
Yeah. Does this answer your question?
I'm just trying to understand the interface. I think sometimes I get so used to Control Z, you know, to undo my mistakes. It
Okay, no
becomes
problem.
second
When you
nature.
start using the system, I guess you'll have more questions, right?
Yeah.
So we'll be there to support you whenever you're trying to do any changes to the system and you have any questions, we are there to support you.
I do have one more question real quick,
Yes.
if I may. These forms that we're creating,
Mhm.
we have the ability to put our company logo on those forms, right?
Yes,
If you can take
yes,
this question. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, let me show my screen. I'll show you how simple it is. So what I'll
Yeah.
do is
So,
simply
Satish,
include, yeah,
yeah, just to interrupt in between, I'm done with the workflow grid part. You can just take over and you can start with the master builder and try adding the master.
yeah, sure, Tanu, thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Tano.
Yeah.
Right. So let us try to add it in the same project management form. Okay. Right. So for any form, you can simply use a HTML component, which you can convert a image to base64. That will allow you to use the HTML element. Okay, so here you can define your tags. If you have an image tag, you can use that image tag and give the link of the uh, logo, company logo, so that it appears on the form. That is one option number one. So the
Okay.
other option is that you can use a image component directly. So this allows you to insert an image component and show thumbnail. Here I can upload a default image, right? So this is straightforward, but till with the HTML you get multiple option for stylings, but here it will show as per the component specification. So that's the only difference. But here you can still upload the image. So whatever image that you upload will be previewed here. Okay. So when I click on save and just say preview, it'll appear like this. But in HTML, it will appear more of a uh, tag specific component. For example, if I say copy link address and so let me just add one column, uh, a, a huge column. Let's say I'm adding a lengthy column and then I can simply add a HTML component. Here I can say just a second, I'll just copy the code.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, so and okay, right. So let me open. Okay. So what I have done is included a HTML component. Here you can see that I have worked on this code. So it's a simple HTML code in which you just have to include your source of the link of the image. So you can get this done using any online editor. You can upload your image and get this link, right? So that can be done using this source, and when you save it, it will appear as per your requirement. So you can adjust the height and width as well. So based on the necessity, you can adjust the height and width so it appears like a compact logo at the top. Okay.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
right. So these are the two things, and let me slowly slowly take you to the next parts which are crucial. So I'll remove these things as of now. And we are going to see about the master data list. So it's a very key component which can be used for repetitive values. For example, let's just say you want to capture the project type, right? So the project types can be included in future, right? So that kind of master data can be created in this master list, master builder. So under administration, the first module that you see is the master builder. So when you click here, you can click add new button and say I want to create a master for project type. Simple. And here you can simply include a serial number. So you can always use the search bar, which can be very handy for you. I have included a serial number, and now I'm going to include a text field, simple text field stating that it is a project type. Okay. Now all I'm going to do is make it as a mandatory field and save this project type master. Now I just have to set up this master index view, which I can select everything to show in the index. And if you have like 20 project types, let's imagine, and then you can use the project type as unique key combination. And if you have it as a Excel table, you can simply import all those 20 project types, which will get imported in the system. So you don't have to create those types in the system manually. So this applies for any master data, any records as well. So when you have a data readily available in Excel sheet, that can be imported to Effivity. So that's the part we are doing right now. And once you save it, you are ready. You can decide where you want to store this master, which means under this menu, if you want to store it under QMS or admin, you can decide that I want to store it under admin. I'll simply click on here. So this creates it as a project type here. Okay. Now I'll simply say save and I'll go back to my form. So now what we have created is a master and we have covered master builder. So when you go to your form, you can simply include the master data. So I'll remove this one. Right. So I can simply search for master data list. Right. So here you can see the master data list under master data components. Drag and drop over here, name it as project type and simply select the master. So I want to select the project type and select fields is nothing but the property key of the project type that you have created. So which is again the project type. You can use this select fields and save it. So the advantage of this is in the UI. So when you look at the UI, you will get more idea about the use of this component. When we go to the actual screen and click on add new, you can see the project type being added here. So this drop down is a uh, dynamic drop down, which means I can readily click on this pencil button, add a new project type. Okay. In-house. I've added project type. Now I can again um, add one more thing, outsourced. Right. So now I have added two values. Those two values will appear here. So for any future references. Similarly, you can keep on adding any project types which will appear for any new records that you're going to create. Okay. So it's as simple as it is, which is why it's useful for reusing your own data. And again, if you do not uh, want this entry, you can simply click on this archive button to archive this entry. Right? So it's as simple as it is. You can edit archive directly the components values. Any questions, team?
I'm good, thank you.
Done. Okay. Tanu, shall I cover the uh, approval workflow right now?
Yes.
Sure.
We move
So,
on to the workflow.
okay, done. Okay. Now let us open our workflow and take a look at it. Right now it is a simple start end workflow. Now let us just take a look at any other workflow for reference, which will give you idea about how you can configure your workflows. Okay. So I'll open the resource planning workflow or documents, let's say. Okay. So these are all documents workflow, default workflows that are available in the system. So you can see a simple workflow loop available here. You create a document status updates as pending and you send mail to approver, approval request based on the approver's decision, further steps are taken. So similar workflow can be created through our workflow builder. So for the same project management vector, we are going to do the same. What we are going to do is separate this two events. One is the start event. I'll keep it here. And this is the end event. I'll keep it there. Now, what I have to do is create a mail task. So let us come to the script part later. I'll show you how to create the email task and user task easily. Okay. Now you can click on this start event and click on this append task to create a new task. And the next step is changing the type. Here you click on the change type and say send task. This will allow you to select a notification from this dropdown. Okay. So this is point number one for creating a mail task. And now we want to create a user task. So click on this task and click on this append task, which will again give you the change type option in which you can choose the user task. Okay, clear. Now you can simply click on this append exclusive gateway whenever you want to assess the decision made by the approver, right? So you click on this button and click on the next step. So append task, you can also click and drag the component. So it is flexible as it is. Now you can click this change type and send task for and make it as the approved mail and append the end event. Okay. Again here it can be the rejected mail and I'm linking it to the end event. Here I want to send mail back to the user who created the project. So let's say I want to make it as pending and send it back to the creator. I want to add one more mail and assign the user task to the document creator, the project creator. That is the user task. And once that is completed by the project creator, I want to receive another mail and merge it again with my approval. Okay, so this I can name it as, I can double click and make it as approved, rejected, and pending. So you can try this out when you are creating this. So now what I have done is created a schema. So this is my workflow diagram. Okay, this is what I want to build. So you can imagine that you can build the same for any process. If you want to further include a HOD approval, supervisor approval, you can still do that after the approvals of anybody. This is the basic idea about the workflow builder in which you add the schema. Now we can save this version stating that it is 2.0 and let us come back over here. Yeah. So yeah, for this particular thing, let us try to add the task now. So I'll show you how we can add the email task and user task. Based on that, you can assume that every step will follow the same. Okay. Now I'm going to add the first step for select notification. Since we do not have a notification readily available, let us create one from the scratch. I'll open the notification builder. And for this, I would recommend you to create it from a existing notification. For example, let's say documents approval request mail. Okay. So you can open this. This will be available for you, the document request approval mail and to whom it has to be sent. Everything is available for you. You can just click on this edit button to view that notification. Here you can see the subject line, roles, and the data that you want to send. Okay, everything is there. Now, when you create a new notification, you can simply click on this notification builder and click on add new. Now, let us take the reference from existing notification. So documents approval request mail and document approval request admin ISO manager. So let us do the same. Project vector approval request mail.
Satish, I'm curious, is there a
Yeah.
duplicate? Can you duplicate the existing
Yeah,
and
of course
then,
we can duplicate it.
okay,
So
I'm just curious. Yeah.
yeah. So let us try duplicating as well. So here you have a new notification version in which you can change the version as 2.0, and here you can state that this is not documents approval request. This is vector project approval request. Okay.
I see.
And here you can say vector approval request. Here, if you want to change the role, you can change it. You can add project manager role and etc. Okay. And also we can customize the to address. I'll show you that as well. So that is a simple expression. There is a simple expression guide for it. I'll open that as well. We can share this with you, which will help you with this property keys and allocations whenever that is required. Okay. Here I
Hmm.
have a notification builder to address. So when a user intends to include to address within a notification, this can be accomplished. So the expression type is this. Here you can see that form code API key value user list value email address. So you can simply copy this and assign it in the to address. All you have to change is this form code and API key. So you know what is form code, you know what is API key, you can replace this, and whenever you choose the person from that form, that they will be receiving the email. So you can also use the simple expression of value email. What I'm trying to do here is, let's say I want to include a project manager, okay, and send the approval specific to them. I can simply include a employee component and make it as mandatory. Let's say this is our project manager. Save. This is our API key. So simply this is our API key and this is our form code. So I have to replace the API key with project manager and form code with our form code. So this is a one-time activity. So once you get used to this, you will be doing this for doing exactly the same thing for all your forms and workflows. Okay. Now this ensures that the notification is sent specifically to the user rather than to your particular role. So whenever you select any person for any project you're creating, for that particular project, whoever you have chosen as project manager will be receiving the email. Okay, so that's the deal. Now you can change the content. So content can be changed as per your convenience. So project has been created. Please click here to approve, reject the project. Now here, if you do not want this, you can remove it, and also you can also change this as vector USA team. Okay, that you can also add logos of your company so that every email will be sent with your own logo. Okay. Now you can also test this email just by clicking this save and send test email. When you do that, you will be get notified. Just a second, I'll open the email mailbox. Okay, right. Okay. So this is the sample email that I have received. Vector approval request test mail. hi, project has been created. Please click here to approve reject the record with the signature. Okay. So whenever you change the content, you can use the save and send test mail to see the output of the email that you have that you are configuring. Okay. Now let us save this notification and go back to our workflow. So now we have created a approval request, right? So you click on this mail task and open notification and type for the mail that we have created. It's available. You can simply click on it and name it as approval request mail. Done. Now we have successfully configured a email task. So this is the activity, and here you can decide which forms to be accessible. Now let's say I want the project manager to access the project form. So here I can open the project management vector form and add it as a non-editable form. So here, if you look closely, if I include this form without this checkbox, you can see that there is a indication that it is N, which is non-editable. Okay, the form will be non-editable at this particular step. Now again, if I open approval form, I want the manager to access the approval form and provide their approval. So I make it as editable and include it. So also this is the sequence. So if you want to move the sequence, you simply click on this and move it top or bottom based on your reference. So going on, you can also include all the necessary forms you want to, let's say support files. Okay, make it as non-editable and include it here. So this way you can arrange the forms, rearrange the forms as per your convenience. So everything will be visually clear for you once I show the workflow live in action. Okay. Now we have created this user task. Let us just name it as approval. Done. And for creation, we already have this project management vector. So let us just name this as project creation. Done. So we have successfully added the mail task and approval task. Now let us add the gateway conditions. The gateway conditions are pretty simple. I'll show you that in the expression guide. Okay. Now, yeah. So these are the gateways example. So this is the simple expression that you can use for any decisions. Okay. Here you can simply copy this where you can say that approval status equal to 10, approval status equal to 30 and 25. So all these are available in the form. So we are using I'll explain you in simpler terms, which becomes very clear for you. You are using the approval form to validate the decision provided by approver, right? Now what you have to do is you can open the form builder and have a look at the approval form. So the approval form is directly available. If you want to create a new approval form, that is also fine. This is the approval form in which you can see the approval status. So based on this value, we are going to validate the decision. Now, if you click on the settings, you can see that the approved is associated with the value 10, rejected is associated with value 30, and pending is with 25. And the key of the component is approval status. Now, which makes sense that when I say approval status equal to 10, it is approved. When I say approval status equal to 30, it is rejected. So simply I can use these examples as my conditions. All I have to do is copy this and use it in my workflow. For approved, I click on this sequence. Okay. Here I have the condition. I paste it here. For rejected, I paste it here and change the value as 25. For pending, I change it here and change the value as 30. Simple. Now, these four things are, as I have already mentioned, is the same deal with the creating the notification, just like we created. You create one for approved, you create one for rejected, you create one for pending, and you create one for updated as per comments. Okay. Now that would be straightforward. So let me just use the same vector mail for everything. So let us cover the important part next. Okay, coming back to the pending assignment. So once you create a project and you make it as pending, you want some changes to be done by the creator of this project, right? Then what happens here? You mark it as pending and it has to be assigned to the person who created this project. So you can simply use the expression of last modifier, which means whoever last modified this project form will be assigned with the task. So I'll use this same expression and use it over here. So whenever you want to assign the expression for user task, you can use the assignee expression. So it is given in the same workflow builder guide itself. Okay. So this is our assigning a task in workflow, common assignee expression, creator user assignee expression, last modifier user assignee expression. You can use this and switch our form code. So what form code do we have? We have the PM-V01. You can simply copy it and use it over here and we are done. Make changes or edit. Okay. Edit project as per approver comments. Data updated. So these are the emails and tasks associated with it. Now we have created a comprehensive workflow. Let us just name them approved mail, rejected mail. So these are our end task and approver need changes mail. Done. Now we can save this version. Okay, so I think we missed to add the task to be performed here. So here I've included the assignee expression. So what data that he has to update should be assigned by us. So I want him to see the approver comments. So I'll choose the approval form and make it as non-editable and show it at the top. The next form would be the process management form, sorry, the project form, which I want him to edit and submit as per the approver comments. I'm including it and now I'm going to save the workflow. Okay, done. Now we have updated the workflow and I'm going to the actual, you can also do this from actual module, which makes it very easier for you. Okay, project management vector. You can click on this settings button and update the workflow master settings. Edit. Okay, workflow master settings, edit. Here instead of this 1.0, I'm going to choose the 2.0 and save it. Now if I click back and back and click on add new button, I can see that the workflow has been updated as per our designed workflow. So this is the workflow that I have designed right now. It is available for me. So let us try this out. Approval, workflow, and I'm adding project type and description. Okay. Okay. Now, if I click on the submit button, it will trigger the next step. Okay. So it has successfully triggered the email and project has been created. Please click here to approve or reject the record, which means I can use this link. The approver can use this link and see the task assigned. Here they can click on this claim task and complete it. So they can see the data entered by the project creator and decide whether to approve, reject, or make it as pending. Now let's say if it is pending, it will go back to the add detailed description. Okay. You can also have a visual look at the workflow. We have started with this step and the current step is indicated as blue color. And once you submit this, it will come back to the creator. Okay. Just a second, I'll check the workflow status. Okay, I think I've yeah, just a second. I've included all the fields in the view screen. Yeah, right. So maybe we can check the workflow again to make sure whether we have provided the right conditions. Yeah, right. So I think we have I have given this condition incorrectly. The thing is for pending it has to be 25. I'll change this as 25 and for rejected it is 30 and do it again. So these are the fixes that we have to do when we are testing it. So in workflow master again I can change the version from 2.0 to 3.0 and save it. So now we can go back and create a new record and submit. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me make it as again pending, add details. Yeah. So as you can see, it is assigned with the creator for updating it again. Edit project as per approver comments. So now I will get the task to see the decision given by the approver and also the approver comments. Add details. Okay. Adding more details and submitting again. Start date I'll add, end date and I'll add and submit. So this will again assign a task to the approval. can see the updated details and say it is approved or rejected this time. So this is the complete workflow team in terms of assigning the user task or creating a new notification and etc. So if you have any questions or any uh, clarifications required, I'm here to help.
Sure. A couple questions.
Yeah,
First, what is the we have a development team internally as well, and I'm curious what the underlying technology is. So we're mostly a Microsoft house. We use a lot of Power Builder, Azure. I'm just curious what the underlying tech is so that I can maybe get them involved in helping us learn some of this.
sure,
Um,
sure. Of course.
mhm.
So what we are, so if you're wondering about this workflow builder expressions or notification builder expressions, these are simple JavaScript code. Okay. So which are used for getting the expressions. And for
Okay.
advanced scripting, we are using C sharp. Okay. So
Okay.
if I can show you any example code. So these are written using C sharp. So these are for, let's say you are creating a project, you want the status to be automatically updated as a project created. So for these simple updates that you want the system to be doing, you can use this scripting. So the script builder is entirely built for that. So one simple example is what I've shown you in the documents workflow. Yeah. So here I can here you can see some script called status pending. So which means whenever you create a document, automatically the approval status becomes pending, which is done using the script again. Let's say it's the script number 1. Show you that. Yeah. So these are the lines of codes which allows the system to automatically update the value as pending. So this is done using the C sharp language. Okay. Once you create the script, approval status pending, you can directly use it under the type. We have seen two types. One is send task and user task. The one more type is the script task. So there are only three types of task. I have explained you mail task and the user task, first two types. The third one is the script task, which is nothing but what I have explained you right now. So using this script dropdown, you simply have to select the script. Okay. For writing the script, of course, you may need help from the team who are experts in terms of coding. Okay.
Okay.
For
Um,
simpler scripts, you can directly use this line of code, which will be again covered in the expression builder. So, there are some certain scripts which can be handled very beginner in a very beginner level. So that will be covered in the expression guide itself.
Did you know we had to do this kind of scripting, Mike?
we don't have to. All of this really can be built out using the workflow
Generator?
builder.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just thinking if we needed to tweak it a bit further, we
Mm,
start getting into wanting uh,
Yeah.
maybe making advanced workflows, then we might
right.
need Srini's help or something.
Sure.
And that's why I was just trying to see if there's a parallel, like something that he's already familiar with. But I think for him, this probably isn't even very difficult to get up to speed. It's probably pretty easy for him. Um, okay. I have a random question, off of not related to this topic, but as my credentials are the admin,
Okay.
and I've added additional roles, but for some reason, when I look at my change management form, I cannot add new, and I'm trying
Okay.
to understand why I'm unable to.
Sure. Sure. So the change management module is created entirely to document the changes happening in the system. That's why the add new button is disabled usually. So if you verify this workflow master edit, just a second, yeah, workflow master edit, you may notice that here you will have this button enabled. So this is the
Ah,
disable add new button, in which if you check it, you will not be able to create the workflow directly from here. Rather than you will be able to create change requests from documents, change requests from risk and opportunity, etc. Where all the changes that you create from there will be collected as a repository in the change management module.
I see.
Okay. You can see that, for example, this is created from documents. So which means if you click on this view parent record, you can see the original document from which you have created the change request. So this has been created from hazard details, hazard assessment. So from there it has been created. Similarly, for all the changes that are created from policies, created from objectives, everything will be stored here. Okay.
Okay. Gosh, there's so many questions. I should have been writing my questions down. No, 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 no. Dan, do you have any questions at the moment?
No, not currently, but thank you for asking. I mean, I do, but it's things that I need to play with the system myself,
Of course.
to be able to better understand it and ask a more direct question than a general one. So the way that you're this probably the same, Mike, is you got to play with the tool a bit, understand a little bit more, and as you do, you get more comfortable, and questions arise from there.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the what would tomorrow's session look like? What are we covering?
Hi, Tanu.
Yeah. So it'll be more of a dashboard builder that Satish will be covering. Dashboard reports,
Yeah,
right? And also, Satish, you can take them through the roles part, the print builder.
Rose. Okay. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
What?
do? I do have one question, and I think I asked this already, but just to be sure, we have several forms, very complex forms that I don't think that we'll be able to generate within this QMS without it being a tremendous amount of time. Is there a way for me to take that form and put it into this QMS with version control, and that way that document's just retained within here, for our ISO 9001 audits and such? So generally, is there a way for me to take a form I've already got and put it in here, um, for file storage and tracking and, um, version control?
Of course. So you have this documents module in which you can store any kind of files. So this file component is also available for you in any screen. Okay. If you click on this button, it will take you to your local storage in which you can just simply open the PDF file or a Word document or Excel and upload it and preview it from the system itself. Okay.
Okay, okay. And that is located. I have my instance open right now.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
open under the documents tab.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
said.
Documents. So you can use this search button to search for
Okay,
documents, and here you can
okay.
find the documented information
Documents.
documents.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And
I
also
can
you have,
archive all of our
yeah,
documents in here then. Okay,
yeah,
that's good to know.
exactly.
Yeah,
Excellent.
just
Exactly.
to add on to this, Dan, whenever you're adding any document, so we have a
Mm,
document type field. So in case you can select whether you are adding a checklist or a form or a procedure or a policy, right? So you can
Yeah,
select
okay.
that.
form.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah. And whenever you're doing any changes to the given document, there's a versioning control. The every time the version will be appended by one, and the old version of the document will get archived.
Excellent. Okay, beautiful. That makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
I did you were you did you have this question as well, Mike, or were you already versed on this?
No, I wasn't per se. I didn't think they would have to recreate everything. I'm glad to see this, so we could let the outside work be done on whatever paper forms that they have or like PDFs. Um, there's a separate, unfortunately, we have a separate tool that we're implementing for workflow and document approval. Um, just strange timing. But we thought we would let that get its approval, get the final document, and then put it into our QMS for this to be the clean record system of
Right.
record. Yeah.
And this will work now. Perfect with
Yeah,
that. At least I think.
exactly. We don't have to recreate it. We could just link it here.
I was thinking
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking at some long days to recreate all these documents. So this
No.
is great news. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. You made my day.
Yeah.
Right.
So one
Right.
thing more, yesterday you had inquired about the data import assistance, right?
Yep. Like our employee list.
Hmm.
Yes. So Satish, they would like to import their employee list into the system. If you can just help them out with them after this training, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you want us to work on the input directly in the call tomorrow?
Not during the call, maybe somebody from tech team can connect with them and assist them with the import.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just need directions on how to do it.
Yeah,
We do
yeah,
Yeah,
have
sure.
an
we
employee
can do that
list.
as well.
I mean,
Satish.
Okay.
is it in the documentation?
Yeah, we can share you a help guide which will walk you through the steps involved in importing. Yeah,
We could give that a try first. I'm thought that there's like an import template. As long
yeah,
as we have our data formatted
correct, correct.
according to that template, it's
Yeah,
easy to upload it.
exactly, exactly. So the metadata that you see here will be
Yeah.
coming to you as a download import template button. When you click on it, you will get the Excel sheet. Okay, right. So here you can just you will be filling in the data required. Okay, just a second. Yeah, yeah. Employee number, first name, designation, everything is there. So when you once you give the metadata, you can once you're ready with the metadata, you can simply import from Excel and choose that Excel file that you have filled out.
Okay.
Satish, we can share that document with them, right?
Yeah,
This would help.
yes, yes, we can.
And then
Excellent.
is there any kind of like almost like a quick start guide, like, okay, you just acquired Effivity. Here's what you're really going to need to begin with. Like for one, maybe upload your employee list. If you are ISO certified, here's where you take your documents and start putting them up into the tool. Start then next on like workflows, and that's what I feel like we jumped right into a form builder, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm missing context, and it's a little bit challenging. So it's a different dynamic on how to learn the system, and I just thought it'd be helpful if there was like a little bit more of a structured getting started with Effivity guide.
Mhm. Mhm. So I guess that would help once we have set up the system, like once you have imported all the employees into the system, you've defined roles, right? We'll see if we can give you a implementation plan kind of a thing, where a step by step, where it'll define like what all you need to capture, like the step by step thing. Like first
That'd be
you need
great.
to, yeah,
That'd be great to know. Thank you.
yeah. We'll
Yeah.
see if we can share that. And regarding your import, in case, so our team would be sharing the document with you, and also somebody would be connecting with you to assist you with the import, right? And
Okay.
setting up
Excellent.
your system.
Very good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Anything else?
Okay,
That's all I have for today.
right.
Yeah.
Same here. Thank you. Appreciate
Great.
it.
Okay.
Great.
Thank
Great.
you both.
Thank you.
Have a
So
great day.
just
Mhm.
to mention this hint for you. So this will be helpful for you
Yes.
in terms of support ticket raising. So you can simply click on the support ticket button and raise a new ticket to us. Our team will be assisting you. Okay.
It's
You
under
can
help.
just, yeah, it's under this help section. You can click on this help section and find the support ticket. And you can also notify to, you can choose your team members who want to get notified about the ticket progress. Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
very good.
Thanks so
Thank you
much.
so
Have a
much.
great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Mike.
Mike.
Bye all.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, team. Bye.